bunker. If it was a nuclear fallout and this was the only bunker available, I still wouldn't get in it. It's so boring and bland and just not Gears. No thank you, that's getting deleted. Okay guys, today's the day. We are taking a look at all of the Gears maps and I've put everything into a tier list. Before we switch screens, I want you to comment what you think 3 of my S tier, top tier maps are going to be, and what you think maybe 3 of my worst maps are going to be. Now, if you want to get involved, I'll link the tier maker below. If you want to support the channel, you can like and comment. That's a great way to help produce some momentum for the channel, get the algorithm going. If you want to go a step further, you can join and become a member and support me directly. Same for on Twitch. I stream most evenings if you want to hang out. Everyone's tier list is going to be different. I'm going to try put it out there and explain why I've chosen the maps I've done. So let's swap screens and let's take a look at what my tier list roughly is. The remove tab, check out. Generally don't enjoy the map. Regardless, I don't get excited when it gets voted. I think team deathmatch checkout is, I imagine if you were to commit a variety of sins in real life, you would be held in eternal purgatory lancering across the map on ranked team deathmatch checkout. So I don't have a big tendency to enjoy that map. Nowhere, that was going nowhere other than the remove. That was awful. We had big cannon map, can't remember it. I remember nothing about it. I have no memorable experiences and therefore it can go. I believe this map might have been called it was like in the fuel station map pack from Gears 2. Someone can comment. Didn't enjoy this one. This can go. We had fuel station. It just wasn't memorable. It didn't do anything interesting that other maps didn't do. That can go. Icebound. I appreciate the attempt. I like the fact it's unique. It has the cracking ice, but it just didn't quite work. And I don't get excited when that map gets brought up, so it can go. We had, I believe this is Reclaimed. My lord, I still get PTSD running from hill to hill in Reclaimed and thinking, well, there's only a minute 22 left on that hill, so we better set off and run to the next one or we won't get it. No, thank you. Blood Drive. All right, look, Blood Drive's not the worst map ever, but I didn't enjoy getting lanced on Gears 2. It's almost 2023. I'm sick of Blood Drive. And as far as I'm concerned, if we were to have a hypothetical Gears Phoenix collection at some point, do I want to see a Blood Drive map? No. Is it going to be in there? Yes. But do I get excited about Blood Drive? No. Is it going in my hypothetical tier list? Yes. Smash that like button if you fucking hate Blood Drive. Regency. A visually decent looking map, but it doesn't do anything special. It reminds me of a hotel, a mansion, but just a modernized, hollow husk of a version. It doesn't have any character. It's just like, here's a couple weapons and a big open space. I just didn't enjoy it. Next we had, I can't think of the map. You had long shots which you shot across at each other. I didn't enjoy the map at all. I just didn't. And I decided to get rid of it. We had Sanctuary that was in Gears 1 PC. Nothing too wrong with this map. It's just very bland and mediocre and I feel nothing for it. We had Damn. And damn, when this map got voted, you knew you were in for a boring match. Someone hiding in the truck, someone trying to shoot you across the map, someone hiding in their spawn. No, thank you. Next we had Overpass. And it was like a big open rock in a big area. I just didn't enjoy it at all, man. It might have had a few snipers on it. You might have got a blind fire across the map or something, but I did not enjoy this at all. Same for Forge. Look, it might have, in theory, been cool. You might have been diving on some points, and it's not the worst map ever. There are some indoor areas where you do have some close points, and there is a bit of a fight inside with the shotguns. It's not the worst map I've ever seen in my life, but do I enjoy playing on it? Not really. Same for Speyer, if that's how you pronounce it. I wasn't a fan of that. I have no idea why they brought that map back, to be honest, but yeah, that can go. Dry Dock. Look, maybe I'm still triggered by active retro Lancer Sword Off, but this map, I feel nothing for this map. This can go. We have, I can't remember the name of this map. Was it? It wasn't Damn, we've already had Damn. It was one of the Gears 4 maps. I wasn't a big fan of it. And Thrash Ball, people might enjoy the Thrash Ball arena, but for me, it was just those big stairways, getting active Lancer down, corridors, frag grenades. I just didn't enjoy it. Yeah, this is another picture of Overpass, I believe. Overpass. Yeah, maybe I put it in there twice. Overpass was like humongous stairs with a troika. There was nothing going on in that map. One of the worst maps ever created. In fact, it probably should have its own tier called Overpass. It was that bad. Bunker. If it was a nuclear fallout and this was the only bunker available, I still wouldn't get in it. It's so boring and bland and just not Gears. No thank you, that's getting deleted. And Vascar, an interesting attempt at some non-symmetrical maps, but getting active Lancer rocket launcher with grenades and a mace hammer, and yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. No thank you. In the D-tier map, I think this is called like Underhill. We've got Underhill here. It had some unique moments. It had the big mortar from the sky that you could fire. Maybe with a few tweaks, it could become somewhat decent. Then we had, is this called, oh, what's this map called? Like, it's not called Artillery. It's called, someone's going to be like screaming. It's in Gears 4 and I used to play a montage mode on it. What was it called? Did it begin with an A? It's not Artillery, bear with me. It's called Impact. I played this on Gears 4, and I didn't hate it, but I didn't enjoy it every time it got voted. I just didn't enjoy the playstyle of it, the long open areas. It wasn't for me, and I decided to get rid of it. The same reason for Lift. I don't think they're awful maps. I just didn't particularly enjoy them when I played them. If they were in the game, I wouldn't hate them as much as the tier below, but I wouldn't enjoy playing on them. Same for Grindyard. It's kind of neither here nor there. A slightly better tier would be Escalation. These all follow a similar theme. In practice, you can have some good matches on them, but more often than not, they're a bit boring. They're a bit of a struggle. So you've got Garden, unique mechanics to switch the gas on and off. You had Hammer, Snipe versus Boom. Escalation, you had the topsy-turvy stairs that sometimes worked, sometimes just was a bit bland on the matchups. Harbour was a bit too Lancer intensive for me and a bit too sparse on exciting moments. And Training Grounds was a solid map, but again, way too Lancer, aim down at the floor and pop off and do stuff like that. With some tweaks, they could be improved. Some people might say, bro, how can you rate Foundation lower than Garden and Overpass? Are you crazy? For me, Foundation was like, you run in King of the Hill, and if you didn't rotate early, you lost all of the points because the shot grenades were located where they were. And it breeded this culture of like, play a custom game, don't get kills, and just wall bounce on a disability control scheme, and then post it to YouTube with some mumble rap. No thank you, bro. No, that's not what I'm about. At least these maps have a little bit of style, a little bit of something going on. And honestly, Pahanu isn't as bad as people make out. Next up, we have Azure Highway. I think, is it Aftermath? Can't think of that name. Diner. The laser beam map. We had Memorial, Stasis, Old Town, Process. This map eludes me, but this one was pretty solid. I remember enjoying this one. Someone might be able to point that out. Rustlung, Coves, and Gold Rush. I think all solid maps. If they were to pop up on the rotation, you'd be quite pleased. You wouldn't hate them. You might not love them, but you would have some memorable moments like Hammer adorning across Azure, pushing across Rustlung, you maybe boom shotting or sniping on Gold Rush, maybe fighting over the torque bow on Coves, Diner as well. You know, they're pretty solid maps. Sometimes they can be bad. You could have a bad Process match or a bad Old Towns match, but they're all right. They're pretty decent. When we get to A tier, I think these are like maps that more often than not, you're going to have a pretty solid experience on, and you're probably going to enjoy them. Again, maybe I've missed out some of the maps in the delete tier. There could be Day 1. Maybe there's a few others I've missed out, but yeah, this is the gist of the pictures that I could find. All Fathers Arena is a really solid map for a variety of game modes, and I think it works quite well. and the way the blocks move around keeps it fresh. Really good attempt at a map in Gears 5 that I think that plays well. Coves plays well on a variety of different game modes. You can hold little pockets, and it's a bit more rifle intense, but you can have some intense games on it. Fuel Depot, you're always going to have a pretty solid game on, but it's a little bit too sparse for me. If it had a boom shot in the middle, like the MLG swaps, we could be going somewhere, but it's an amazing map, tons of memories, but it's not the absolute upper tier of map for me personally. Then we have, if I can remember correctly, Asylum. I actually like diving into all of the crack houses and pushing the trains and holding and rotating. I had some very good games on this. Same for very good games on Gridlock, game battles matches. Sometimes you did get some awful ones, but more often than not, I do enjoy a Gridlock game, so I'm okay with that. Mercy, really solid map, really solid map. Probably would be a bit higher on some people's tier list, but I think some games it can get really oppressive, whether they play the church or the windows, the windowsills, and they rifle a lot, and it can get a bit oppressive depending. But it's a solid enough map, but you can have some horrible matches on Mercy, so I'm not going to put it too high. We have the new map Nexus, which I think is really good. I think it's a really good map. I don't have too many problems with it. I very much enjoyed playing on it. Old Bones and Subway, people might think, Old Bones and Subway, are you crazy? How can they be so high up? I just think Subway, you had like snipe versus talk battles. You could play fast and aggressive down low, or you could play it slightly slower up top, and you could move down the stairs. But the stairs weren't super oppressive. Like, you didn't get held up on the stairs. I just think it was a very good map overall. It's quite underrated. Same for Old Bones. I think it just plays solid. I think it plays well. I don't think Old Bones is a bad map at all. I think it's very underrated and it plays well. Trenches. You can have some bad games on trenches, yes, but more often than not, you'd be fighting shotgun up top. Maybe you're mortaring. Maybe you're diggering through the floor at the guy that's holding down the height advantage. There was some unique mechanics going on there, and I think it was a good map. Tyro Station, for me, superb. Fighting down low, aggressive shotguns. Up top, you might be lancering across, and whilst all this is going on, your torque bow tier dropping, especially in Gears 1, because that's all you could really do in that game, as opposed to like Gears 2, where you could headshot someone, but you couldn't really teardrop as well. But you'd be torque bow teardropping off the railings, trying to dive across, and in other game modes as well, King of the Hill, Submission, fighting on the train track and all this stuff. It got really hectic, and I think you'll have fun if you play this map. Then we have, is it Ruins? I think a very solid map. I just think Ruins was a good solid map, and Hail just for its unique factor. Getting in the carts, shotgunning the guy trying to hop in your cart because the hail's coming down. I think it was a really good map, and I'd be quite excited to see that make a return. S tier, and again, you might disagree, you might agree, who knows, it's all personal preference. For me, All Father's Garden was just really a great map for a variety of game modes. Visually, it looks great. I think it had the sniper warfare going across the map. It had some explosives going on. It had some lancering. It had some close quarters shotgun. It had rotations and flanks. I think it was a really underrated good map. Same for Avalanche. I think Avalanche is just a fun map to play on, isn't it? Especially when it does actually have the avalanche happen. Clock Tower, I was considering as a S+ tier, but when I think about game battles on Clock Tower, I think about sometimes just thinking, oh, I don't want to play Clock Tower. Sometimes on Team Deathmatch on Gears 5, oh, I don't want to play Clock Tower, everyone's camping or lancering. But it can be a blast. It has the potential to be unreal, and it has the potential to be kind of bad, but it's always up there, and I think Clock Tower's solid. Same for District. I think District plays really well. Bullet Marsh could be in somebody's removal tab, but for me, I think it's just such a Gearsy map, dark, gritty. It's got krill, it's got the lights you can turn on off, it's got boom, torque bow, snipe, frags. It's got people hiding, it's got people flanking, it's got people sniping across the map. I just think it's a fantastic, fun map. Probably a surprise pick. I think probably the biggest surprise pick is Mausoleum. When I think about this map, I'm surprised it's not made a return. It's a large, expansive map. It would suit a lot of game modes. And I just think it works really well. There's little bits of height advantage where you can lancer down. There's different sections to the map, so you can rotate. For like King of the Hill and stuff, you've got torque bows, you've got booms, you've got snipes. Sometimes you rush boom, you meet up on that block and you have a 2v2 shotgun battle. Sometimes it's clear and you snag the boom, but then you're trying to boom the snipe guy, or the snipe's trying to active down the, you know, the frag tagger or whatever. I think it's a really good map. I'm surprised more people don't rate it as highly as I do. Pavilion could be an S+ tier map if it used the old Gears 2 swaps. There used to be, in the little hut at the front, I think there was a torque bow, and where the boom shield was, I think there was a sniper. I think that's some of the best gameplay we've had on Gears, if people remember. It's just a shame that it was on clunky-ass Gears 2 with mad stopping power and the shotgun shooting the floor, and I wasn't the biggest Gears 2 fan, to be honest. I know, Cry Me a River, everybody, all the Gears 2 fans crying right now, but I think it's a superb map. And Hotel, I think, plays really, really well. It's not my all-time favourite map, but if Hotel was to come back or Hotel was on the vote list, I wouldn't say no. So I think it's got to be up there. In terms of S-tier map, there might be some that I've forgotten. Apologies. But when I think of my S-tier maps, I think of, okay, if these selection of maps appeared on the vote screen and these were the only maps in the game, could you enjoy Gears? And I think if you had a selection of Canals, Jacinto, Mansion, Ravendown, Rooftops, War Machine, and Security, you would have a very, very fun time. There is a map I am noticing that I'm missing, and that's River. I'd probably put that in B tier. I'm not the biggest River fan, to be completely honest, but it's not bad. Canals, for all of the memories of sniper battles and ranked high side, I would always play ranked Warzone 15-3. I think the map plays well. You can play it strategically, you can play it quite fast, you could all push high side, take the bridge control, you can take torque bow or snipe, you can snipe it out. It's good for King of the Hill that I've played. I imagine it's pretty fun for like a submission if it was ever to be on there. I think that would have happened with Gears 2. And I just think it's a great map. Jacinto, again, Jacinto's more of a defensive map. There's more pockets to hold, like the grenade areas. It's a bit better for Guardian and those kind of game modes, but it still plays fantastic for execution. So I think it's up there. Mansion's just amazingly solid across the board. I just think it plays fantastic, and it's just like, when I think of Gears, I just think of that crumbling mansion with the rain coming down, and it's got to be up there. Next is Ravendown. This, when the map was opened up, plays so much better for the bigger modes like TDM and Guardian and stuff. But if you play the shrank down version, the OG version, you could play 19.2 Ravendown Executional Warzone on 19.1 and just push with shotguns all day and have a blast, thinking about the memories of like the American 2-bar connections and being like, hey mate, we can play on this one all night, the connection's fine. Rooftops, you might think, what? I'm trying to think of like memorable experiences, unique experiences, what makes Gears. For me, Rooftops, you can push over the top, play super fast, slide the torque bow, dive all in there, melee everybody down, shotgun everybody down, torque bow, stick the guy trying to hammer, and have a grand old time. You can play it slow, you can grab a snipe, you can sit in the hut and try and make a pick, or you can play the tactical beep, 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 which I love. As you know, I've got the quad hammer on film, I've got all these hammer clips, I love playing it. It's a truly unique map. Cliffy B hates this map, the creator of Gears. I think it's so unique. I just think it completely changes the way the game plays, and that's a cool thing. Like, you're gonna get a different experience on Rooftops, right? And if you're in the mood for that different experience, you're gonna vote it. You know, who doesn't love the Hammer of Dawn? Likewise with War Machine, no matter what mode you play in, who you play in, what play style they have, whether they're a Lancer player or an aggressive player, you're gonna have a good time on War Machine. I think it's probably up there as one of the best maps ever made, isn't it? I think that's why it's S+. And then when I think about slogging it out on gears, and I think about lobbing grenades in there, pushing people into the lasers, cross-lancering, getting really sweaty, I think Security is a fantastic map. And I think if those 6 maps were to pop up, 7 maps, sorry, were to pop up on a list of these are the only maps you can ever play, I think there's enough variety there. Another feature for 4v4, by the way, if you didn't know, Rooftops was one of the only maps that had enough weapons for 4v4s. So people used to have 4v4 snipe matches on Rooftops, which is why it has memorable experiences like, you know, all of the old battles like YMCA, FYCN, Young Money, all of these stupid snipe clans doing their 4v4s and stuff. And just, it's just a unique map. There's probably some I've missed. You know, I couldn't find pictures for all of them. There's some duplicates here that I've just, you know, accidentally put in. But I think those are some of my favourite maps. Maybe I'm crazy, you know, maybe, and that's the thing with maps. Maybe in 2 weeks' time, I'm like, bro, how could I put Security above Pavilion? Pavilion's such a better map than Security. Maybe it is. Maybe I could put Pavilion up here, or maybe I could drop them both down a tier. It's all personal preference. Depends on what mood you're in. You know, it depends on how you're feeling that day. Or do I want to be a Lancer player? Do I want to be a shotgun player? Do I want to use the hammer? Do I want to just, I don't know, camp? What do I want to do? And I think there's a pretty solid selection there in the S plus to A tier range for sure. So yeah, though, that's some of my feelings about the Gears maps. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much for tuning in. Leave a like, leave a comment. Take it easy.